This segment is brought to you by Dad Gang Hats. Dad Gang makes the highest quality hats in the apparel industry because they use premium materials, pay close attention to detail, and prioritize durability and comfort. With so many styles, colors, and designs, they absolutely have the right hat for you and the dad in your life. Use code BENCHED76826. That's BENCHD 76826 for 15% off your first purchase. Shop Dad Gang Hats, quality hats for quality dads. Everyone, welcome to the Bench Podcast. My name is Joey, joined as always by my brother, co-host, Angel. How you doing, man? How those chest hairs doing?
Good. I didn't mean to show them off so much. Good. The Dodgers currently are tied the Padres right now. That's all I'm thinking about. Besides,
if you're new to our podcast, this is an NFL podcast.
Yeah, but besides that, if the news wasn't like incredible today, it would have been all. Sports is great right now. That's all this means.
Yeah,
Sports
NFL's popping. Baseball is going. Basketball's ramping up. We saw Bronny and LeBron in the court together. It doesn't really mean anything, but maybe this means LeBron could finally move on.
You hate LeBron. No, we're getting to the sweet trifecta in about 2 weeks where baseball, football, and baseball.
But in the United States and on this show, football is truly king.
It really
is king. They're dominating all the headlines. We got lots to go through on today's show. News, Angels Heavenly Top 10.
Yeah.
And we'll check in on a little bit of fantasy stuff to start the show. Kind of surprise for you guys. Over at the producer's desk, double barrel action back in the house. 6 to 5 in a good day. And registered Packer owner AJ Woodson, Gabe Tovar. How you doing?
What up?
AJ, a little under the weather, huh?
Little bit, but I'm here.
So explain. I kind of heard. My peripherals heard why the sore throat because of basketball.
Yeah, played basketball the other night. Went in and it was 90 degrees. Came out and it was like 55 degrees.
That'll do it. That'll do it. That'll do it.
Quick update on the game. Padres just scored 2 runs. Score is 3-1 in the
Bottom of the second.
Fucking hate the Padres.
Yeah, Gabe's having a hard time struggling. Yeah. He's watching the game right now.
Yeah.
Episode 168. This is for Wednesday, October 9th, 2024. As we cruise right through October. Halloween's just a couple weeks away.
Yeah.
We're really starting to talk about those costumes now.
Yeah.
In the his house, in the Fizzam.
I need 3 different costumes. I only have 1 picked out so far. There's a lot of.
Why do you need 3 costumes?
3 different. One for the show.
Yep.
I have a work party and then one of my friends' parties.
Yep.
So I don't want to do the same costume.
I feel like
Why?
those are 3 separate things.
Yeah. Is there any crossover there?
I just like Halloween.
No, I want to do the same thing. I'm gonna get a different costume for the show and then a costume for trick or treating. We just got ours yesterday.
I have 1. That's going to be my designated
Actually,
one.
I have costumes if you want.
I'd be surprised if I had one. I might just wear a helmet and
Don't do that.
I have a
name tag.
I have a Top Gun costume from last year if you want it. Top Gun is just the
You know me. That's right up my alley.
Yeah.
If you're watching on YouTube, thanks so much for joining the show.
Hi.
Subscribe, turn on notifications. Thank you to all of you who have joined over the summer and in these first couple of weeks. You guys haven't been on the show for a minute, so I want to congratulate you as well. 750 subscribers.
Yes, sir.
Now we're at what, 756?
Yeah, we're going up there. And then if you're listening on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, thanks so much for joining the audio version of the podcast.
Audio?
Yep. Like, subscribe, notifications, leave a review. Thanks for letting us join you at work, in the gym, wherever you listen.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us. Instagram, X, TikTok. We're on all those platforms. Search @BenchShow to follow the show between the show. And a lot of fun going on up there. If you're on YouTube, the comments have been getting fun. You guys are fun, man.
Comments are fun. Comments are fun.
Here's what I like. I love that fan bases defend their young quarterbacks because
No matter what.
yeah, once upon a time, I remember sitting in a Starbucks. Gabe, I don't know if you remember this. Sitting in a Starbucks with Gabe, trying to convince them that Aaron Rodgers and Carson Wentz were essentially the same guy.
I will never forget that conversation.
So I get it, and I've been there.
I remember having to sit through Kevin Cobb and be like, hey, this is our guy.
It's the future.
This is him.
For a Bronco fan, I remember seeing. Listen,
the stories abound with you.
I remember the year after Peyton left, you called me. This is a you story.
Yeah.
And it's where Trevor Siemian started. You call me. You're like, you go to Super Bowl with Trevor Siemian.
Oh, dear God.
I was like, hell yeah, we can. Go, Trevor.
Trevor Siemian.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get excited about quarterbacks, and I get it. We will never apologize or be upset with fandom. We love it. That's why we started the show. So thanks for all of you who have engaged with us on all the platforms, including YouTube. Check out benchshow.com, home of the Bench Beat, articles on fandom, fantasy, and all things NFL. Check out Greg's latest article. Each team, 25 words or less to celebrate the quarter-way mark of the season.
Yeah.
And then if you sign up for that email, you receive that as well. All right, boys, got something to start here, a little fantasy. As fantasies, this is the most difficult year I've ever played fantasy football.
Yes, it is.
It's tough.
You just don't know what's going to happen.
Because you're like,
I'm having the time of my life.
look,
It's wild.
yeah, like Patrick Mahomes isn't a great fantasy quarterback.
Yep.
Sam Laporta sucks.
Yep.
Like, I don't. And then running
What
back.
is tight end this
Tight
year?
end is just you
Tight
find
end's weird.
You find one, you're just like whatever, dude.
All of a sudden, rookie tight ends are coming in and just owning the league.
And in,
like-
in our 8-player keeper dynasty league,
Yep.
I think every team kept a tight end, and none of them are good.
No,
Nope.
no.
Whoa, Kittle.
Okay, yeah.
You know
I
what?
mean,
Kittle might be
for
the- those
years
are
I've wanted Tyreek Hill on my team. I finally got him, and I just had to. I can't trade him. I can't play him.
Can't start
I
him.
just got to watch Tyreek Hill on my bench. What is fantasy football?
He's a good man in a tough situation.
That being said, I want you guys to try to name the top 10 overall scorers in fantasy football this year.
Okay.
His overall, every position, PPR,
Okay.
and if it helps you, it's in our league. So you kind of know the rules there.
Cool.
So our league, top 10. How many misses you want?
Well, out of
Standard
10.
three?
Three?
Standard 3?
All right,
Okay.
fire away.
I'll do one for sure. Kyron Williams.
Whoa.
You went rogue there, my friend, and it cost you a miss.
Well, we got to start with quarterback.
That's one miss.
So
Yeah.
we start with quarterback, Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels, number 3 overall, 113
Definitely on
overall
there.
points.
He's not the QB1, though. I just saw there's a... Jaden Daniels is QB2.
I think Baker
He is
Mayfield's
QB2.
gonna-
No, Baker's not QB1.
I think it's not like
It may have changed
it's not
after
even
year
like
3.
the Josh Allen or the
It's not Josh Allen.
who's
Dak,
balling out
Dak
right now?
was QB1.
definitely not Patrick Mahomes. I'll tell you that.
Dak-
Definitely not CJ Stroud.
Oh, Nico Collins?
Nico Collins is on the list. He is wide receiver
Wide
2.
receiver 2, yeah.
Wide receiver 2.
I mean-
Yeah.
I mean-
107 overall points.
This is not a guess, but Jay Jettas, right? Just Jefferson.
Yeah.
Oh,
I need
is
a-
is Sam Darnold.
I need an official guess thing here.
A lot of touchdowns. Throwing a lot of touchdowns, throwing for a lot of
I don't
yards.
think he played great last week, fantasy wise.
Well, I mean, that would be one bad game out of, five full weeks.
What after the bye, is Saquon still up there?
Oh, that's true.
man,
Yeah,
this is
the
what a
Eagles are on
weird-
bye.
It's
Yeah.
tough. It's a weird year. So I
Like
thought-
we can't go with our regular Tyreek Hill.
Malik Neighbors had a hot start.
Oh, yeah, neighbors.
Malik Neighbors, not on the list.
What?
This is weird.
I'm gonna go rogue here because he's been consistent and he's had one big game. Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, number 5 overall, RB2.
Okay.
Nice.
You got one more miss.
I know he's been scoring like crazy, but
Dude, wide receivers.
You got
who,
3 of
who
10.
are they?
Why would-
no.
Man.
I don't know.
just
this
say
is tough.
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson, not on the list.
See, this is weird.
Great.
All right, here we go.
Just
Number
lay it
1
on us.
overall and QB1, Lamar Jackson.
Oh, okay.
RB1 and number 2 overall, Alvin Kamara.
Jeez.
Oh, Alvin Kamara. Yeah,
balling
that
out.
makes sense.
You got Jaden Daniels, number 3. You got Derrick Henry at number 4. Number 5 overall, and at QB3, Baker effing Mayfield.
Yeah, you know what? He's been hot.
Baker Mayfield. That's crazy. I'm surprised you guys didn't get this one, especially you, Gabe. Wide receiver 1 on the season, Jamar Chase. Wide receiver 2.
Is that just because he had the big
He
game
had like
over
2
the
big
weekend?
games.
Yep.
Well, I mean, yeah,
He had that 29-pointer and then the 41.
So Jamar Chase, wide receiver 1. Nico Collins, wide receiver 2. Quarterback 4, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. That offense is clicking.
Well, last week, I think him and Lamar bumped up like 900 passing yards combined or something like that.
And then you circled it, running back for the Philadelphia Eagles, number 10, Saquon Barkley. So, yeah, if you're out there
How many first-round picks are there?
struggling,
How many
That's
first-round
true.
picks are
It's
in that
like-
Lamar
top?
Jackson, no.
No.
Alvin Kamara, no. Jaden Daniels, no. Henry, no.
Saquon wasn't a first
Mayfield,
round pick.
no. Chase, yes.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Nico, no.
No.
Burrow, no. Saquon, no. So pretty much
Chase.
1 first-round pick.
Why the fuck do we study all this time?
So if you're out there and your fantasy team is struggling, we get it. If it's not struggling, you're balling out like our friend Gabe over here.
Yeah.
Or you're,
I was saying Chase probably wasn't that high of a first round pick either because knowing the
Yeah,
situation
there was a
with
lot.
Joe
He
Burrow.
fell to like 8 in a lot of.
Yeah.
you know what?
a lot of
You know what?
drafts.
The big one is Christian McCaffrey not
Yeah.
being there.
Christian
man, he's
McCaffrey,
broken
no
so many
Tyreek
people's
Hill,
I mean, to not see Christian McCaffrey, Breece Hall,
Tyreek
Jonathan
Hill.
Taylor,
CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb,
Bijan
Justin
Robinson.
Jefferson, Tyreek, like it's just,
Jeez.
it's weird. It's a weird year.
Football's
so
stupid
let us
sometimes.
know who's your most disappointing player in the chat if you're watching
Oh,
that part. Okay, guys, let's get into the news. All right, right, heavy news day in the NFL. Let's start in
What the?
Yeah, let's start in Philly. Eagles are releasing former Pro Bowl linebacker Devin White, 26 years old. Wow. White has not played in a game this season after signing a one-year deal with Philadelphia this past offseason. I was so excited.
Yep.
I think we were probably texting each other.
Yeah, we did.
Like, bro, we got Devin White. He was number one on our board. He's supposed to be a great blitzer. We got Vic Fangio, who's constantly setting linebackers.
When I got the notification, I got the NFL app notification. Eagles signed the number 5 overall pick, I think 2019. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, who's number 5 pick 2019? I was like, oh, we got Devin White. And then here we are today.
Yeah.
And he doesn't play a single down for us. This is a Vic Fangio decision. It has to be.
Yeah, it seems like wasted talent. I feel like you guys are struggling on defense, and you didn't play him at all. You didn't even try him.
Yeah, we really. We're gonna see. We're gonna see because he's gonna get on a team. Like, I think he needs to go straight to the Buffalo Bills. But he's gonna get on a team, and we're gonna be trotting out still Zach Bond and N'Kobe Dean.
Yeah,
and we're gonna see if we made a bad decision here.
So you know how, like, after reports like this, the flood of what really happened comes out. I saw a report right after this that even in camp, Zach Bond and N'Kobe Dean outplayed him and earned that spot over him.
I mean, the Bucks did let him go for nothing. The Bucks did bench him at the end of last year.
And the Bucks are still a good defense.
So there's definitely a scenario where he's just not any good anymore.
That happened really fast.
But it happened very fast, and
he'll get signed though.
No one saw it coming. He was on podcasts this offseason, like, I'm about to reestablish my value, but he never played, and now he's released, and he's a free agent, free to sign with anyone. Over to the Raiders and their incredible season they got going on. Raiders star defensive tackle Christian Wilkins is out indefinitely after undergoing surgery to repair a Jones fracture he suffered on Sunday. Wilkins Las Vegas big money free agent acquisition. Being out is a crushing blow in the middle of the defense, headed to IR. So we were talking about the Raiders last show, and our one bright spot we said was, well, at least they signed Wilkins.
Yeah, and now he's on the IR. This season's doomed. It's one of those seasons that they've kind of used to over there in Vegas. It sucks for Wilkins, though.
Just so many things mismanaged. The roster mismanaged in the offseason. The head coaching position mismanaged.
And then you have injuries like this.
Davante Adams thing mismanaged. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Just so many things, and this is just unfortunate. But when you have that many self-inflicted mistakes, you can't stand these just bad luck stuff. It buries you.
But don't worry, Aiden O'Connell to the rescue. Is about to save the season.
They officially benched Gardner Minshew, right?
Yeah.
They're good.
I saw that.
They're fine.
They're fine.
Let's take out Gardner Minshew, take out Davante Adams, we'll be just fine.
Yeah. Brock Bowers is a bright spot there.
You know what?
Right?
For not taking a quarterback, he's a pretty good tight end.
He's pretty good.
I'm surprised he's not on that list for fantasy players.
He is fantasy tight end number 1.
He's fantastic.
Yeah. Think about that. That's how bad tight end position is. Yeah. He is tight end number 1 and not in the top 10 list. So,
Weird. Well, he is a good tight end.
Yeah. Okay, over to the Saints, dealing with their own injury problems. This per Garofalo rap sheet. Saints quarterback Derek Carr expected to miss multiple games with an oblique injury suffered against the Chiefs. New Orleans has 2 games in the next 9 days, and the likelihood is that Carr misses Sunday and their next game against the Broncos on Thursday.
So really, technically, if it was like a regular week, he probably would only miss 1 game.
Probably.
But I think it's just so.
Someone's going to get 2 starts here. It came out today that it's most likely not going to be Jake Haener after his
he looks small,
abysmal takeover there. It's going to be the guy that I think everyone's excited to see, Spencer Rattler.
Yeah. Netflix.
Yeah, he had a good preseason where he kind of showed what he can do. Exciting. And look, I don't know about
why
him.
not?
Yeah, I'm like, why not?
Why not?
You guys are struggling offensively. Rattler can give you kind of, a little bit of magic maybe. I don't know.
I wonder what they do if he comes and balls out, because they are obviously in love with Derek Carr. But if you have Spencer Rattler there who balls out, the fan base is going to be all over him. Like, oh, this is our guy.
They might be in a pretty decent spot.
They'll lose all control. They'll lose all control.
They'll have to stay with him,
If the fans are demanding it, they're going to lose it.
You don't think so?
I think they're in a good spot. I think if he shows something, you go back to Carr, then you're like, all right, this is the last year of the Carr. We have a plan already set.
Yeah. Well, no, they're on the hook for Carr next year too.
Well, that's. I mean, I don't know.
You just get rid of him now.
Yeah,
okay with
yeah. I think this gives you freedom to like really see what Carr's got.
Yeah.
And then if Davante comes over there.
Finally, some closure in Kansas City. Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice underwent LCL surgery today with Dr. Cooper and will miss the remainder of the regular season. Full recovery expected. There was also a repair done to Rice's hamstring tendon. Ooh, ripped hamstring there. I'm told there's no structural damage to the ACL or meniscus and no long-term concerns. So he'll be back, wide receiver 1, beginning next year, but no Rashee Rice this year.
Yeah. Apparently it's no problem. We'll just get Juju Smith-Schuster to have a career day. They're
Didn't he have like 130 yards?
They're ridiculous.
I
so fucking
man,
annoying.
I can't remember what the date was, but it had been a very long time since Juju Smith-Schuster put up those kind of numbers.
Yeah.
Like years on years on years.
That was so weird because Kareem Hunt went for like over 100 yards as well.
Yeah.
Like, what year are we in?
Yeah, that literally they're running offense with Kareem Hunt, Travis Kelce, and Juju Smith-Schuster.
Shades of 2018.
It's wild, and they're still winning.
Yeah, but Rashee Rice stinks because he never got him or Hollywood Brown on the field together ever. And then you were seeing the rise of Rashee Rice. Now he's gonna be hurt, and then next year you have the suspension looming, so you're not gonna see him for a while.
Well, I tend to group him and Pacheco like they say, like they're like the wave for the Chiefs. I think they rode to a Super Bowl last year. When they win it this year, and then like looking back, it's gonna be like, oh no, they just switched out their skill position players that year and won it again.
Yeah, and then next year, like, oh yeah, now they have a healthy
they're back.
Pacheco and a healthy Rashee Rice.
They're back. Now they're 24.
Now they go for 4 in a row. Shit, God, I hate them.
So good, man. Exciting news, I think. I'm pumped to see
sir.
this. Quarterback change in New England.
Thank
It's
God.
that time of year. We're starting to change the quarterbacks. The Patriots are now planning to turn to rookie first-round pick Drake Maye to start Sunday's game against the Houston Texans. Ooh, tough draw.
That's tough.
Maye will join Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and Bo Nix as the 4th rookie quarterback to start this season. I think Terrell was reading the stat how they have the most wins through 5 games in quite some time.
Yep.
So these rookie quarterbacks are playing well. I kind of expect Drake Maye to step in and do better than we think, right?
That line's really bad.
You kind of feel like what's going on in the league right now, how all these rookie quarterbacks are playing so well.
Fun.
New England has to be like, okay, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Put our guy in.
And they couldn't score 15 points against
Yeah.
the depleted Miami Dolphins. Like, they could have won that game if they had anything going offensively, passing-wise. And then they've invested in the wideout room, like second,
picks.
third round
Yeah,
picks.
yeah.
Yeah, and then they have Country Bourne back. I think now they're like, let's just see what this kid has. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't get any worse than what they are now.
I hope.
I know this isn't a reflection on real life football, but in fantasy, Jacoby Brissett is quarterback 33 in a league with 32 teams.
Oh my god.
Was that Malik Willis passing
I
up
think
at
so,
32?
yeah.
We
Taysom
had
Hill to pass probably.
we had higher expectations, and certainly the Patriots must have had higher
Yeah.
expectations. They probably thought this guy could carry us at least through half a season.
Or at least half the season. But it's already week 6 now.
Yeah, and he's really bad.
Yeah, you know what? I would have done this. I don't know when their bye week was, but to put them against the Texans just out the gate that with a battle line and the Texans have a good defensive pass rush, that's tough.
You got to imagine C.J. Stroud's going to put pressure on him immediately, and they're going to put up some points, and that defense is no joke.
But we'll see. Fun times, though. I mean, it's always fun to have a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, I'm not expecting a win.
No.
I think for Drake Maye, we got to look a little closer and kind of see how he's going through progression, see how calm he looks in the pocket.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be the victory for him. If
The
you just
closer
see,
things.
Yeah, if you see that he's in the pocket well, he scrambles well, that's a win right there.
Yeah.
Regardless what the score says.
So we'll take a look at that. Okay, guys,
Here we go.
Oh, boy.
we got everything out of the way.
Yeah, all the JV stories.
All right, so let's talk about this Jets. Woody Johnson, Robert Saleh, Aaron Rodgers, security. Nathaniel Hackett. Just this drama going on with the New York Jets. You got to imagine the New York media is just a circus right now.
Eating it up.
Yeah, they're in a frenzy. Okay, let's get to it. Ari Merov, breaking news. The Jets have fired head coach Robert Saleh per Adam Schefter, per A.J. Woodson. A couple weeks ago, if you're listening, Jets are promoting defensive coordinator Jell Ulbrich to, I thought it was Jeff. Is it Jell?
It was Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff Ulbrich.
Sorry, Jeff.
To interim, I know, he's announced to the world as Jell.
Jell.
Interim head coach replacing Robert Saleh. Okay, so Robert Saleh out, Jeff Ulbrich in, defensive coordinator. Seems like a leader of men that kind of AJ was calling for last time talking about Robert Saleh. And I think they can maybe maintain their strength with him, hopefully, leaving that defense really strong. But Robert Saleh out. Initial thoughts when you first saw this?
It's really early in the season. Like I remember I saw a stat today. Tom Brady, when he was at the Bucs, started like 3-2, almost the same. Yep. And to give Saleh, whether you like him or not, to give him a quarter of the season, that's not fair. Like, what were you expecting him to just be 5-0 off of a Achilles injury with a new team and a new, you know what I'm saying, like a new offense because Rodgers brings his own offense. It's just a reminder that some teams aren't used to success, and they don't know how to handle it, and it's just immature. I don't like it at all. I'm not even a big Saleh guy, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I think it's a bad franchise move.
Yeah.
Like it's what bad franchise do. I think you nailed it. Fire him after 5 games when Monday night you're playing for a share of first place.
Yeah.
You're literally playing for a share of first place on Monday night. After you, like, why did you drag him through the last season and a half?
Yeah.
To fire him when you find, okay, let's now see what it looks like.
Yep.
And now you're going to fire him. Like, that just makes no sense to me. And he's not the fucking problem.
Yeah.
The defense is playing great. I got some defensive numbers. First in points per drive, first in EPA per play, third in success rate. That's since Saleh took over, despite playing the 4th most snaps since he took over. Let's look at the old offense. 32nd in points per game, 32nd in offensive touchdowns, 31st in yards per game, 32nd in turnovers per game, 32nd in total offense EPA. What happened? Something out of the Dodger game.
Really quick, the Dodgers went down 6-1.
I won't talk about it.
Terrible.
Jesus.
But Teoscar just hit a grand slam, so it's 6-5.
Wow.
Let's go.
Why do you set it up like
Sorry, that's just
Why'd you have to phrase it like
because
that?
so much has happened.
So yeah, Robert Saleh out. I just think it's a bad franchise move. It's something that bad franchises do. It seems like it's the owner pulling the strings here. Boys, initial thoughts. Robert Saleh out in New York.
My first thought was if you were going to do it at 2-3, why didn't you do it in the offseason when you had this plethora of coaches available? You had, Harbaugh. You had Harbaugh sitting there.
Harbaugh, Vrabel.
Sitting there ready to go.
Oh, God, Vrabel.
Bill Belichick.
Yeah. So I just, while I was calling for this firing, I was calling for a clean house. You don't fire Robert Saleh here and keep Nathaniel Hackett when the offense is doing what it's doing. I saw a stat.
God.
They have scored in 5 weeks. They have scored the exact amount of points that they did last year with Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
And you keep this offensive coordinator.
I'll say this much, and let me just ask you guys, how much do you think Aaron Rodgers has to do with this?
As far as pulling the strings?
What's the percentage that he's responsible for?
I don't think he's in as much as the firing, but as much as the retaining Nathaniel Hackett, that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I think the fact that he's there has a lot to do with it. But I think I honestly don't think that he went in there and said, no, he's not demote. Because the rumor was that he's going to demote Nathaniel Hackett out of the play calling duties. I think we have a tweet on that.
So
so maybe Aaron Rodgers said, no, he's not doing that. Out goes Saleh.
If I could spin this any positive way at all, and I totally agree with Angel, it's immature. Bad franchises are going to make these bad franchise moves. If I could just say one positive thing to the Jets fans right now is that most of the time when Aaron wants these decisions made, we hate him because we give him this much power. But most of the time when these situations play out, they play out in the right way. Like Aaron Rodgers when he wanted McCarthy out, we hated that, but it actually
is that where you're landing then? No, despite the reports that this is an Aaron
trying
Rodgers thing?
I'm trying to take like a positive spin on this, and I'm guessing if Aaron is behind this, seeing what I've seen with the Packers, Jets fans, it wouldn't surprise me if all of a sudden, like, wow, the Jets are winning games.
Wait, sorry, is that where you are with this though? Like Aaron Rodgers orchestrated. That's how this went down.
That's how yes. To answer your question, I think there's a lot to go into it. We'll find out more as the days go on, but this screams Aaron.
You still feel that way with Nathaniel Hackett still there, though?
Well, because Nathaniel Hackett,
the situation
Nathaniel Hackett doesn't work with anybody but Aaron Rodgers, who happens to be in the building still.
Does he work? He still fucking sucks 2 years in a row.
No, right.
What a stupid move. Let's keep this fucking moron Nathaniel Hackett and erase this offensive defensive coordinator. This awesome defensive coordinator. But let's kiss Aaron's ass and keep this horrible coordinator and let him keep play calling duties and make sure he's not moved. It's just a bad organizational move.
But see, that's my point though. When you give Aaron Rodgers the key to the car, we don't like it as fans. Probably Jets fans don't like it either. But I'm saying more times than not, the situation has been up. And again,
hold on. Look at the last year in Green Bay.
I fully agree with you guys. It's a stupid move. Saleh wasn't the problem there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying when Aaron does get his way, we hate it as fans, but more likely than not, the situation tends to go upwards.
Aaron had
Look at the last year in Green Bay.
It's a crazy spin. I'm just saying there's more situations where it's worked out where it didn't work out.
Hold on. Aaron had
We
his
just have to
way.
see how it's gonna
Aaron
go.
had his way this year with Hackett being coordinator, and they still weren't great. That's why I'm saying, like, it doesn't make any sense on why you fire the head coach whose defense is doing great, and you keep the guy, the offensive coordinator, whose offense is dead last in most categories.
I just want to say I fully agree. I fully agree with you guys.
This is the problem that we look at in Chicago.
Yeah.
Is with a head coach really just being the defensive coordinator, you run into these kind of problems because if the offense doesn't start working,
It's a weird-
and someone gets fired, it's the head coach. No
Yeah.
matter if you touch the offense or not. Let's get to some tweets here. Jordan Schultz reported shortly after, my understanding is that Robert Saleh was fired in the morning and then escorted out of the building by team security.
What in the world?
You know what?
Jeez.
No, he's a big dude. So
There was no meeting with the players to inform them or anything like
That's
that.
horrible.
He was in the building for work, and then he was out of the building and out of a job.
God.
Before he was fired on Tuesday, this is the juicy one. Jets coach Robert Saleh held a staff meeting during which he informed the team's coaches that Todd Downing would take over play calling duties from Nate Hackett. What's funny is I think Todd's still in the building, so now he's like,
I was like, I didn't ask for this.
Am I still?
I'm still getting the raise, right? That's a pay raise.
Woody, listen. I didn't ask for this.
So yeah, escorting him out of the building is that's crazy.
That's wild.
That's crazy to do.
He's a big dude, and Woody Johnson is a very old man. So I'm guessing Woody Johnson felt his life was
I don't know.
at risk.
Like the first thing that I came to is that Robert Saleh was probably pissed.
He's probably
He was probably
breaking-
pissed. For
he was-
everything we've
I
heard,
mean-
it's caught him completely off guard.
Yeah.
Like he had no idea it was coming. He had already come back from London, done a press conference, and nothing about any of that seemed like, my job's on the line.
Yeah. With his Dunkin' Donuts comedy and his bagel.
I mean, from what we heard, no one knew anything. Aaron Rodgers
Yeah.
didn't know anything. The players didn't know anything. Woody Johnson just made this decision, and his reasoning. I don't know if you guys heard saw any of the quotes. I think a change is needed, and I think they'll play better because of it.
Where was this last year?
That's such an old man,
Yeah,
rich guy thing to do.
It's just, I mean,
I was trying to spin it in a positive way.
No.
But when you just keep going, it's terrible.
it's just Woody Johnson just acting on a whim, it
Yep.
feels like. And then now,
Yeah.
I'm guaranteeing you now he's like, maybe I shouldn't have, because now you have it's just a mess. And then you're asking people to play hard for your team, and then you could just, in a spur of a moment, just fire people with no explanation, no whatever.
Also, more than likely, this next offseason, they're going to be looking for a head coach.
Or a clean,
And if you think Ben Johnson or those guys who said no to all the other jobs are going to say yes to you, Woody Johnson, who is firing coaches after being a week away from playing for first place, they're not going to go to New York.
No.
You better go and sign Jeff Ulbrich right now because you're not going to get another guy to go there unless it's like a Doug Peterson or a Mike McCarthy or some other retread.
Yeah, next year you're looking at a total front office rebuild because their GM Joe Douglas isn't in his last year, so you're going to go into a clean slate again.
And I'll say too, it'd be a mistake losing him as well.
Yeah.
And he's drafted incredibly well.
The roster's fine.
But
they're great.
It's crazy because like you're gonna do that with Aaron Rodgers. So you're gonna ask him, "Hey, believe in us again" with a different head coach who might be a rookie head coach. It might be Ben Johnson or one of these guys. It's just so.
If
dumb.
you're gonna do this, just go ahead and make Nate Hackett the head coach because
That's
like you're just playing
obviously,
games.
yeah.
Like there's just okay. It's gonna be Nate Hackett. Is Nate Hackett no matter what? If Aaron Rodgers there is gonna be the last man standing. No one's gonna be able to fire him. So let's make him the head coach because that's essentially that's a stupid move. But that's what you're doing in like a weird roundabout way. Let's get to some more tweets here. Robert Saleh's relationship with Aaron Rodgers came into question. Jordan Schultz reported not fractured despite speculation. According to multiple sources, the two were getting along. The fight in Robert Saleh was carried out solely by Woody Johnson. Man, Schultz is cooking with this. Another one here. Aaron Rodgers was, quote, blindsided by the news today of Robert Saleh being fired. He came into the facility with no knowledge of the firing, possibly walked in with Robert Saleh, holding their coffee.
Dude, he wants to talk to you.
Sources say he did meet with ownership after the fact. Woody Johnson made a decision by himself. And then last tweet here from Jordan Schultz. Robert Saleh's firing should not affect the Jets' interest in trading for Davante Adams. The Jets want him as much as Davante wants them.
What a
Talks continue.
disaster.
What a shit show, dude.
Jesus.
Oh my God. But don't worry, we're still on Davante Adams. Davante, please come over here from your mess of a LA Raiders experience. Come to this mess.
Let's do a little blame pie here. All right?
Oh, God.
Blame pie for why Robert Saleh is out in New York.
I kind of put my hand out there. I think Aaron.
Yeah. That like the biggest piece is Aaron Rodgers.
Oh. It sounds like Woody Johnson.
I think, the more I hear about this, I think it's 50-50.
It's Nathaniel Hackett for me. He is the number one reason Robert Saleh doesn't have a job because he
Totally
couldn't get the
agree.
offense to work, and that's why he lost his job. It obviously isn't the defense.
Yeah, defense playing great.
They're playing really well. I haven't heard a single thing about, oh, God, they hate to play for Robert Saleh. I haven't heard anything like that, except for the little him and Aaron Rodgers stuff that kind of no one really knows what's going on there.
Yeah.
I wonder
Other
if
than
this
that,
will be a lesson.
everyone likes the guy. AJ, you Robert Saleh's job. Blaine Pye, why is he gone?
For sure, it's Nathaniel Hackett. But what I brought up a couple weeks ago is just I don't think he had control of the locker room. And I've seen reports saying that he wasn't. I mean, but we saw a report he changed play calling duties this morning. But a lot of people were saying he wasn't willing to take that power away from Hackett. Maybe that was him.
Maybe that's why.
From Big Bad Aaron.
Yeah.
Didn't want that. So, personally, he didn't really seem like you said earlier, a leader. He didn't seem like he had control of that locker room. The guys did like him, but I mean, you look at a guy like Dan Campbell. The guys like him, but in a different way. There's a different level of respect there. And the reports coming out about Jeff Ulbrich today is that the team really respects him.
I've heard great things about him.
Yeah.
Jeff Ulbrich to the rescue.
What's crazy is that when you start to do it, if you do like an actual Blaine Pye, like Robert Saleh is one of the lowest guys on that. Like he did, I think, what he could do. He kept to what he's good at, and the offense let him down. I think
So wild that
Garrett
Hackett's
Wilson
still
needs to feel terrible right now because he's not a wide receiver one, and that was part of the problem. I think Allen freaking can't catch the ball, Lazard. If they win the game in London, this doesn't happen.
Yeah.
This is an emotional knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, and this is like it's a panic move.
Yeah.
Like because he wanted to be relevant.
So I heard this little insight from Pelissero from NFL Network. So Woody Johnson is the former U.S. ambassador to I was going to say Europe, to England, okay? They just had their game over there. Chances are Woody Johnson had all his old boys. Hey, I got Aaron Rodgers. I got this team that's incredibly talented, and brought them all in the booth
And got embarrassed.
just to see the Jets get embarrassed. And maybe that contributed to, like, I'm going to go home and scorched earth.
But were they embarrassed though? That was a good game.
Yeah.
They lost
If
because
you think because you heard him talk today, he said we have one of the most talented Jets teams of all time.
Oh god.
That's where his bar is.
Oh god.
That's a put. You played the Vikings, okay? They're the hottest team in the league right now.
And you didn't get blown out.
It's like, why didn't you beat the Vikings? They're 5-0. Like, what, bro? No one's beating the Vikings.
Picked Aaron
Literally
off 3 times. I mean, at some point, it's not.
I mean, yeah.
Come on.
It's a lot going on, a lot of bad stuff going on, and I don't understand. Like, so you promoted the defensive coordinator, so a defensive-minded head coach with Hackett there and Rodgers. It's the same thing.
Yeah, what does this change?
I guess it's just the guy calling timeouts or challenges.
The only thing that could possibly change is that your defense gets worse. Because Ulbrich is already there. So now you just lose Saleh's mind. Yeah. It's all on Ulbrich now.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say his name. But the offensive side is still the same.
Yeah, and then
And also, I'm just going to say it. Davante Adams isn't saving this team.
Well,
He's not saving this offense.
Honestly, at this point, why would you come? Why would you go there?
But let's look at his options now. Who were his 2 sweetheart teams? The Jets and the Saints.
Saints look pretty good.
I heard a lot about the Ravens, too, actually.
You know what? The Ravens are pretty good. But the Saints look better than the Jets. At least they're not imploding from
Saints don't
within.
have a quarterback for 2 weeks.
But 2 weeks, so like it's okay. Like at least you know the heck. Like at least you know the organization is still. You still have that team. The Jets, you don't know what's going on. The owner could come in and just fire people out of nowhere.
It's why I honestly wonder if they lose. I forgot who they're playing. They're playing a good team. They're playing the Bills.
Yeah, the Bills for first place in the AFC East.
If they lose to the Bills, watch Nathaniel Hackett get fired. Watch it happen. Watch it happen. I'm telling you.
Why then? Why not now? What
I'm not
does he
saying it
have
makes
to
sense.
do? I know. But what does he have to do to get fired?
I want to take a look real quick at this historic head coaching class of 2021. Okay, Robert Saleh just got fired. Had a struggle of a couple of seasons because Zach Wilson, and we know the story of the Jets. Now finally gets a chance. Aaron Rodgers, full roster, fired 5 games in. Jaguars that year hired Urban Meyer.
Oh my goodness, that sounds like
Meyer.
So long ago.
The other big name besides Robert Saleh was Arthur Smith to the Falcons. We know how that played out. David Culley. Do you even know where he coached?
Yeah, I had to look it up.
The Texans.
He
coached the Texans. We don't remember that guy.
He was the sacrificial lamb in their trying to tank season.
That year, the Chargers hired Brandon Staley, who was run out of town.
Yeah.
This is 2021?
Yeah.
Yep. That year, which is interesting, AJ, the Eagles hired Nick Sirianni.
Yep.
And if you listen to Eagles radio, his job's on the line, even though he's been in the playoff 3 straight years and in the Super Bowl once. That's how the NFL is. He if they lose to the Browns, he could definitely lose his job.
Yeah.
The Eagles are at such a crux right now. Like this season go 1 or 2 ways.
And jobs are openings are heating up for like a Vrabel or a Belichick.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. You go.
Oh, one more.
Yeah.
The last guy there to get signed, and everyone made fun of this guy, including myself.
Including me?
Dan Campbell, of the Detroit Lions.
Now,
at the end of the day, the last laugh. Good for you, Dan Campbell.
Yeah, Dan. What?
God, that's awesome.
He was his phrase was biting off kneecaps. Yeah. And now he's like one of the best coaches in like the.
And now
like, the
that's like
league.
an awesome phrase that everybody uses.
Yeah. And now what's gonna happen eventually is that all of his coaches are gonna become head coaches.
Yep, he's got a tree going.
Yeah, it's good for him. It's quite the news day. We didn't even get to all those stories. There's so many
honestly
stories.
wonder if there's going to be a bigger story than that one, though, as dramatic as that story.
It's going to be the Davante Adams.
Yeah, Davante Adams is going to be big. And then these other receivers as well. I mean,
Yeah,
are
there's
the
gonna
Chiefs
be-
going to do anything? Are the Bills going to go do anything?
Yeah.
There's
They need to.
it's a major, like, it's a crazy NFL season so far.
Yeah, the NBA has influenced more the NFL more than people like to realize. These wide receivers, if they're not happy, they're just gone. And that's just the way it is. No matter how much money's on the contract, no matter how much years they have left. That's just how it is.
Okay,
the NBA has really influenced that.
To add to that, somebody wanting a new contract, I saw Woody Johnson urged Hassan Reddick
Oh, yeah.
to end the
like,
holdout.
there ain't no
and
way in
report to
hell.
camp. He is not showing up to.
Woody Johnson, what? I didn't know Woody Johnson is so bad.
I'm so sick of these old men. I swear, dude.
I didn't know Woody Johnson. Yeah, at first I thought, okay, he's like a
I mean,
involved
he is
owner.
a Vax guy.
He is an involved owner, but he's not like a Jerry Jones type of involved owner. I thought he was more of like
A Vax guy.
he's Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah,
Oh, is he? Is that who he is?
Yeah.
that's Johnson & Johnson.
That's why it's so funny that Aaron Rodgers is going to go play for the Vax guy.
Yeah.
I was
The
just about
Vax
to-
guy.
I was just about to ask you, like, how did he make his like all this cash? Wow,
I did not know that.
That is
Wow.
crazy.
Where are you saying, Gabe?
Johnson Baby Whale. So he's P. Diddy.
He's a part of
So,
oh my god!
oh my That's why he's so mad. It's a big number one client.
It's a triangle of conspiracy. I'm telling you, dude. It's all connected.
Solog, he found out about so he had some dirt on Woody, and Woody let him go.
Yeah.
Okay, I got one more thing I want to talk about in the news segment here, and that is the Davante Adams thing.
Yeah.
I said it. I halfway believe it. I hope it's not true, but does Davante Adams save this Jets offense?
Yes and no. It only saves it if Hackett gets fired and if it's just Davante and Aaron just playing backyard football.
You know what I heard Pelissaro say about Aaron Rodgers is that he was throwing the ball Sunday like he was throwing it to Davante Adams.
Yeah.
Like he was expecting receivers to do certain things that we remember Davante Adams to do.
Yeah.
And the receivers were just like what's happening?
It seems like he only knows how to play with one wideout now.
Yeah.
Even though Garrett Wilson had a good day. The rest of those wide...
I wish we had time to talk Garrett Wilson because
Lazard-
talk about going in on a dude.
Lazard sucks.
He can't catch.
He dropped like 3 or 4 easy ones.
You got the ghost of Mike Williams
It's just
out there.
so crazy how all these weapons aren't working, and Solog was the one to pay the price for it.
Yeah. Guys, is Davante Adams saving this Jets offense?
It's kind of similar answer as Angel. Yes and no.
Yeah.
Like they're better.
They're better, for sure.
Yeah,
But with
with Davante Adams coming and Hackett's still there, they're better because
That trio there.
Yeah,
That trio
Aaron's
can
gonna.
do something.
Aaron knows how to utilize Davante Adams. Hackett knows how to utilize Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams.
Right.
Does this shoot them into a top 10 offense? I don't think so.
you know what
So
they need?
the only problem with that though is that I saw this with the Packers. When you come down to the playoff games, that's all he does though, and they figure.
Well, you could tell that's what he wants to do.
Yeah, and Joey, you said it perfectly. Like he's throwing it as
Thank you.
as if Wilson knows it's a back short, as if like it's like yeah, that's what Aaron does. He even Lazard when he was on the Packers, he wasn't throwing to him at certain parts of the year. So it's scary. But if Davante does go there, if they find that magic, then yes.
You know what's okay? We're pissed off because it's a stupid move. There's still a path here to the Jets being good, but I'll tell you this: it wasn't because you fired Robert Saleh.
No.
Yeah, because you basically nothing really changed. You're just making it very dramatic.
Yeah.
Like I think the defense still has a chance of being really good under Jeff Ulbrich.
Yeah.
And the offense, obviously, we've talked about it, didn't change, and they get Davante Adams. I'm still hopeful for this team to do well.
Yeah.
This is just like a very stupid, unnecessary move.
Yeah, and you know who needs to step up and it's not performing well is Breece Hall. and that run
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Listen, if you can run the ball, it helps. Even that's why Rodgers threw the ball 50 times or whatever.
Yep.
Like
58.
you need Rodgers. Like in his best years in Green Bay, he had a run game. Rodgers had a run game and play action. And this year, you don't have it for some reason. I don't know why. Nathaniel Hackett's still there. Wow, I'm not getting into that. It's just like there's a lot of things going wrong, and the wrong guy paid the price. That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah. If this flames out, Hackett's not getting another job. Like he is donezo.
Unless Aaron plays for another team, then he's just go unfollow.
Yeah, very true.
Papa Aaron.
Anything else on this, guys? What? I mean, just a crazy story.
It's a crazy story.
I think we did a good job of covering as much as we could.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think Arrow can be up if Aaron is given the keys of the car.
I don't know.
I don't know who else has had the keys.
I know.
He's had the keys. Like,
He wants all the keys.
But Robert, give me your keys. Is that not Aaron Rodgers though? It's like I want full control.
And how's that work though?
But that's
when is it work?
But I'm saying that's Aaron.
how early is Jeff Albrecht showing up to Aaron Rodgers' house to pick him up with hot coffee and donuts?
He's there.
He's spending the night.
Sleeping on the couch.
I saw. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I saw a tweet of the ayahuasca doctor, and it said next coach of the New York Jets.
It's just Aaron just playing. He just runs the Jets, and I don't think they realize when the Jets signed him how much Aaron Rodgers you get when you sign Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah.
You get him as the quarterback. You get him as the GM. You get him as the personnel staff. You get him as he affects every part of that. Like the way you practice, the way you sign players, who you sign in the offseason.
And we won't know if that's okay until we see how this plays out, because Tom Brady did it. And he won a championship.
Yeah.
So no one's mad about it.
Yeah, Tom Brady brought over Gronk. He brought over AB, and then won a championship.
Yeah. And
they also started the same way. They didn't start great. It took a while for them to get used to. It just let him have a season at least with his whole team. Like it's bad.
We'll see how they play. We'll see how they come out on Monday night against the Bills
with a chance
wild.
for the first place in the AFC.
Chance for first place. Possibly Davante Adams lining up for him. Like it's gonna be electric on Monday night. All that and throwing the Bills as well. And they might be starting a new receiver as well.
Then Aaron Rodgers is going to be on Pat McAfee. Well, you heard him today on Wednesday.
He canceled his showing today.
I mean, when you're hearing this, he would have already been on.
Also, Davante Adams canceled his showing with Kay Adams this morning. And so he'll be on, I think, tomorrow as well when you see the show. So I think tomorrow, when you're listening to the show today, Wednesday, it's going to be a big day.
You want the drama.
I love it. Okay, let's take a quick break and get into Angels Heavenly Top 10 version number 6. Be right back. This segment is brought to you by UltimateAutographs.com. Have you ever wanted to own your very own piece of signed memorabilia? For most, the dream of collecting NFL memorabilia seems distant because of high cost. But UltimateAutographs.com has created an easy way to start collecting: live breaks. Live breaks are events where a host opens up boxes of memorabilia live and gives you a shot to win authentic sports memorabilia for a fraction of the cost. Here's how it works. First, dive into the action by buying a spot. If you use our code BENCHME15, that's BENCHME15, you'll receive 15% off your first live break entry. Then, just pick what type of memorabilia you'll want to win and secure it with a simple payment. Now, you're in the game. Next, get ready for the main event. Watch the excitement unfold live. Be part of the anticipation as we prepare to reveal what's hidden in each box. Finally, here comes the moment you've been waiting for. If the piece we unveil matches your spot, victory. That piece of history is now yours to keep. So, are you ready to join the excitement? Secure your spot, tune in live, and let the fun begin. Don't forget, use our code BENCHME15, that's BENCHME15, to receive 15% off your first live break entry, and good luck.
Angels Heavenly 10.
All right, Angels Heavenly 10 for week number 6. This has been a highly controversial list for, I think, every week this season. And this week, Angel has a doozy. Let's go through Angel's list. Angel's Heavenly Top 10. Let's get it started. With number 10, he has the 3-2 Baltimore Ravens. Welcome back to the top 10. They settle in right at number 10. Baltimore Ravens, I think, 3 in a row.
Winner of 3 in a row. Kept up shootout with the Bengals. They're winning games under the hot team. And Lamar Jackson rolling. It's hard to stop this team when that offense is going.
Philadelphia Eagles, treading water. They're at number 9. Same place. Didn't move them. They were on a bye.
You know why? Because they're going to get A.J. Brown. They're going to get Devonta Smith back. And
I told you.
No, but I didn't move them. You know what I did because there's bye weeks. I try not to move teams unless there's like an overtly good team that needs to be over them.
Okay, I want to go through it before I stop.
Yeah,
because I have some questions on the Eagles one.
Yeah.
Commanders go to number 8, 4-1. I think there's probably some questions about their victories, but they're moving up the list, and they have to be on the list.
Yeah, last week they were number 10. They keep winning, so they're number 8. They're winning. They're the best offense in football, which is crazy.
One of Angel's sweetheart teams at number 7, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 3-2.
Baker's playing great.
Kind of a top 10 staple so far.
Yeah, I love this is my sweetheart team this year, the Bucks. I love the Bucks this year.
Pack Attack, number 6, 3-2.
Because they're getting healthier. Loves hasn't had a signature game yet, but that defense is playing great. They're stacking wins when they shouldn't be because they're not really like 100% injured healthy. So yeah.
Bills lose to the Texans and get jumped by the Texans. They go to 3-2. Texans ahead of them at 4-1. That's your 4-5.
Yeah, the Bills were 3 last week. Yeah, they fall down. They lost to another top 5 team. I'm not going to punish them too much. That Texans have a really good team.
Lions coming off a bye. They're at number 3. I think they were number 2 last time.
They were number 3.
3. Okay.
No, I'm sorry, 2. I'm sorry. 2.
Yeah, so they go down 1 after a bye. But I think that's more about them being jumped about your number 1 team eventually.
Yeah.
Vikings go down to number 2 after winning, going to 5-0, beating the Jets. And the Chiefs go to number 1 from number 3 after beating the Saints. We're definitely going to talk about that.
It's just okay. Let's start somewhere because I have reasons behind it. I can just put it up.
Let's start at the bottom here. Do you guys have any issues with Ravens sneaking back in at number 10?
I think they should be higher. Don't ask me where, but I think they should be higher than the number 10 spot. The Ravens, winners of 3 in a row, they've looked phenomenal.
It's exactly what I have in my notes.
Yeah.
They are. You need to put them back in the list. I think if you had some real titanium knickknacks, you would have moved them a little higher. I think you did a nice safe move. 3 wins in a row, all scoring 28 or more points. The offensive is clicking. They figured out Derrick Henry. I think I'm fine with them, whatever, but I think they're going to be top 5 soon.
Yeah. Is that defense isn't the same as it was in years past. That kind of scares me, but the offense is rolling for sure.
Yeah, I would say neither is the offense. Yeah, that's the thing.
The offense looks great. Derrick Henry is exactly what we thought he was going to be, a difference maker.
Yeah. Eagles at number 9.
Yeah, this is more a good team that got healthier. And I'm not going to punish them for a bye week. I'm also not going to overreact because they're healthier. I think they belong in the top 10, but at this point, they're not playing great, but they're still playing at like a top 10 team.
So last week when you put them at number 9, part of your reasons for dropping them was because you were projecting that these injuries are worse than we thought. And now here we are after the bye. Looks like A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, they're both going to play.
No Devin White.
Why did that not propel them back up then if those injury scares weren't actually real?
It was more because their teams are playing great. The Commanders are playing hot. The Bucks, I like the Bucks a lot, and the Bucks beat the Eagles. I think I like where they are now. I think they could move up easily because they're so talented, and they're a top 10 team. To defend them is to say they were hurt, which they were hurt. Their top 2 playmakers, pass catchers were gone. So getting them healthy back, we'll see a different offense.
I mean, I don't know. I think if they were low last week, I think they're definitely low this week because now they're healthy. And their wins are against the Saints and the Packers. Their losses are to the Falcons, who's beaten a lot of teams. And I think we lost that's the Saquon game, right? Where he dropped the game winning, and then Drake London scored that game winning touchdown. And then the Bucks, who are kind of on
the giant
on a big game hunting tour.
Yeah.
But I just think hey, their losses aren't bad, and their wins are pretty good. I feel like they have a lot more impressive wins and impressive losses than some teams above them. But I guess we'll see.
I'll say this though, you can't move up a team that's on a bye.
Yeah,
you just can't.
That's one hard thing about this list too. There's bye weeks. So I'm not going to over and underreact to teams that didn't play this week. I'm gonna say.
Well, but you could move a team though, right? Well, you moved the Lions because
I did move a team, but I didn't want to move the Eagles off because a healthy Eagles team is a top 10 team in the NFL.
I think they're just gonna have to prove it to you before you move them up again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the Commandos. Listen, they lost to the Bucks. That's the only loss, right, to start the season. They've won 4 straight against teams with a combined 6-14 record. So while they belong here, they're pretenders.
You know who they're playing Sunday? The Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, Baltimore Ravens. Yeah.
This is a test to see if they're for real. That defense, the Ravens defense hasn't been great this year. So if the Commanders come out and look, the Raiders beat the Ravens once upon a time this year. It's capable. So we'll see. I'm not going to doubt it's one of the best offenses we've seen in a long time, which is crazy to say.
I'm calling pretender all day here. I think this is one of the more obvious. They're 4-1, but they're not that good.
And their defense is just atrocious.
That's not going to hold up.
I've got an 8-leg parlay for this Sunday, and 4 of those legs are for this Baltimore Ravens offense against that Commanders defense.
Wow.
I mean, if they beat the Ravens, and I'll swallow these words, but I think the bubble bursts on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll see.
But they belong in the list. I get it. Bucks, your sweet baby girls, are 3 quality wins, but 2 bad losses, and that's my problem with the Bucks. Yeah. I think, and that's my problem with Baker Mayfield, and that's my problem with Todd Bowles. I think they're just up and down. At times they'll look really good, and at times they'll lose to really bad teams, and that's why I'll never believe they're an actual Super Bowl contender. I don't care what kind of numbers Baker Mayfield puts up. They're just like this, and that's what they've always been to me.
I mean, they've beat good teams. One of the qualifications earlier was beating good teams. They've beaten good teams.
Right, but my that's exactly my point. They've beaten good teams, and then they've lost to really bad teams. They're up and down.
They lost to one bad team. Actually, if you think about it, 3-2 Falcons, 3-2 Broncos. And they've lost to those teams, right? So they've lost to good teams.
We agree the Broncos are...
Well, Falcons at least are a good team. Broncos are, you don't know yet.
By the way, why are the Falcons not on your list?
Falcons, I fought with the Ravens and Falcons for like 3 hours today. I almost put a 10A and a 10B. Falcons are...
What's crazy is that the Falcons are leading the division. The Bucs are in second place, and they're on number 7 on your list.
Yeah,
That doesn't bug you?
No, because I like the quality of wins that at the Bucs have beat the best team in the NFC and then the second best team.
I mean, yeah, losses to the Falcons, who aren't in your top 10, and the Broncos, who probably aren't in your top 20. I think that's just, I don't know. Are the Broncos in your top 20?
You know, probably at 20.
You guys, so far, anything? Feel free to jump into anything we've gone through.
Yeah, Falcons, I think, are for sure on this list. Don't crucify me for this. I think they knocked the Eagles off this list.
They literally beat the Eagles, so I can't.
I think personally, I think the Ravens jump up to the top 5. Falcons find their way somewhere on this top 10, and the Eagles fall.
I had. I can't do it yet because there's a big one coming up here. Number 6, you have the Pack Attack. They have beat the Titans, Colts, and Rams. A very injured Rams team.
That's great.
And that's my problem with the Packers.
I just don't think they've gotten going yet offensively, and they're still 3-2. And I think they're doing a good job coaching there. I think the defense is playing lights out. I think they have the chance to improve like big leaps and bounds because the offense isn't really clicking yet. We haven't really seen a Jordan Love game yet.
I would have the Packers at number 8, right above the Eagles and right below the Bucs. Those wins to me aren't very impressive. The Titans, right, Will Levis. The Colts have just shown to be maybe one of the more overhyped teams of the offseason. And the Rams are just missing everybody. And yet they've lost to the Eagles. Now they play them tough, but they were blown out against the Vikings. And that fourth quarter they scored 22 points.
To be fair, everyone's blown out.
And made it interesting. But I'm saying they played a good team, and they didn't look like if you're playing the Jets played the Vikings better than the Packers played the Vikings.
Yeah, but they both lost. But yeah. I get it.
To be
but
fair,
there's a way
Jordan Love
lose.
wasn't fully healthy that game against the Vikings.
Yeah, this is more like Jordan Love just getting healthier, and I think Jordan Love healthier with his team that's already kind of good. Like if their floor is 3-2 with not even a healthy Jordan Love, if they got a healthy Jordan Love, it could be even higher. So it's more like
also factor into Love missed 2 of those games. So not having your starting quarterback for 2 out of 5 games honestly, and winning.
I know we're saying Love a lot. I think LaFleur is doing a fantastic job coaching his team 3-2. They should not be 3-2. With Malik Willis as a backup quarterback, they should not be 3-2. But they are. They're
who they beat with Malik Willis? The Colts.
But they won.
And the Rams.
But they won.
I'm saying let's not. But yeah, they did win. But those aren't blanket statements. There's context to wins and losses. They beat 2 of the worst teams in the NFL. So while they're wins, and all you can do is win the games in your schedule, they didn't go out there and beat the Chiefs and the Bills. There's differences to how you look on the field and who you're beating.
Right, but the context is that you're winning without your starting guy.
Yeah.
If you could win games while your guy is out just to keep the ship afloat, that counts for something. And then I understand it's the Titans, but you could only win those games.
Definitely, but I could turn that right back around on you. Rams were playing with no one, with both tackles, and I could go down a whole list.
But not 3-2.
And Richardson, how much of that Colts game did he play? He got knocked out that game as well. So they're playing not only bad teams, but bad teams that are also injured. And so that's why for those wins, I don't give them a lot of credit. Like, yeah, you're supposed to win the game. You took care of business. It's obviously much better than losing those games. But if those are your 3 wins and you've lost, and the team in your own division that looks like the best in the NFL, you weren't really competitive against, and you play the Eagles stuff, but the Eagles are jury's still on them. I don't know. I think they belong a little bit lower on this list from what they've shown us so far.
I will say this too, just about their positioning and right next to the Bucs, right above the Bucs. I like the Bucs 3 wins more than the Packers 3 wins. I mean, granted, they were injured.
What are the Bucs 3 wins?
Eagles, Lions.
See what I'm saying? See how these aren't the same? Like, they beat the Eagles, Lions, and who else?
I can't remember.
Someone else they beat. I can't remember the other right now. But I know it's another quality win. So I don't know. I mean, not a big deal. I have the same 5, just a different order.
Yeah. I think I'm just in on the Packers, and I think a healthy Jordan Love will make this team go higher.
I have the Ravens at 6, by the way. I have the Ravens all the way up at 6.
Yeah. Ravens. Yeah. Ravens good.
You guys, anything else? Want to get into top 10 or top 5? Top 5, you have the Buffalo Bills, which I hate to see them drop because I think they might be the best team in the NFL.
I love this team so much.
But they lost to the Texans, fair and square, and C.J. Stroud outplayed at least Josh Allen in that fourth quarter alone. And so we'll see. I think Bills need to make some adjustments and kind of learn from that. But I think it's justified.
I didn't punch them too much. They just fell two spots. One spot lost. They lost to the team that beat them, and another one is the Chiefs. Obviously.
Anyone have a problem with Lions number 3? I'm totally fine with that.
No,
Lions they're gonna. I don't think they'll ever leave the top 3 or 4. They're
really good.
They're just solid.
The last we saw of them, they looked amazing. Jared Goff was lighting the world on fire.
And Texas number 4.
Let's talk about this 1-2.
Okay.
Or anything about the Texans?
The Texans,
I think they're fine there.
Be a good team. Yeah, I like it.
Let's talk about this 1-2. I don't know how the Chiefs jump back up to number 1.
You know why? Because they just do it. They just get it done.
That's what I told you last week.
I fully agree here.
And listen. I made a mistake. I underestimated the Chiefs. Okay. They just do it. I don't know how. They are not as talented as any of the top 10 teams on this roster. They just do it. And I'm not going to underestimate them ever again.
Were we talking about? It was on the show that we were talking about their skill position players. Right?
Yeah.
Juju Smith-Schuster, Travis Kelce, and Kareem Hunt.
They just get it done. I know the Vikings fans are gonna kill me. Like, you're like, you're supposed to be. You're like, your talent is great. I mean, Sam Darnold is whatever. The roster, the offensive roster for the Chiefs is bottom 5 in the league without Mahomes. 35-year-old Kelce, who's still good. Juju Smith-Schuster, Sky Moore, Justin Watson, Kareem Hunt, Carson Steele,
Samaje
P. Ryan, and you're 5-0 with this team. And then the defense stepped up. If they just turn into a defensive squad, because they're stacked on defense.
People forget about their defense. They've been good for years.
Bolton, Chris Jones,
Spags,
McDuffie, Spags, Colin. It's just they just get it done. And I've when I watched the game, I was like, I'm an idiot. This is the best team in football because they're the Chiefs. They have Patrick Mahomes, who's not even playing well.
They're 5-0.
They're just
if the Vikings and Chiefs were to play each other, how much doubt would you have that the Vikings would not win?
I thought about that, and I picked the Vikings.
I think they would keep it close, and then the Chiefs would win.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They just stick around
There's
until
like no explanation.
It's just magic. It's just.
Well, I think we saw the first blemish over the Vikings this last week because Darnold didn't throw for a touchdown.
Yeah.
The Jets kind of figured him out a little bit and slowed him down, as they often do. That's why they fired Robert Saleh. But I think that's
how they respond.
Yeah, that's how they responded. There's that thought too. They shut down the Vikings offense that was absolutely rolling.
No one has done.
And you fired that guy.
It's his fault.
God. But I'm not losing any sleep about that. I think they're 1-2. However we want to put them, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, it might be okay, at this point, is that your Super Bowl matchup?
I mean,
that's
no.
really if you believe in the Vikings.
No, because I don't. When it comes to top 10 lists, I think there's a whole different list. Reset the list of the playoffs. Like when it comes to the playoffs, move the Vikings way down, move the Texans way down, move the Bucks way down, move the Commanders off the freaking list.
But those are.
I get it, but there's winning games in the regular season.
No, I get what you're saying.
And there's teams in the playoffs that I know. Give me the Texans and the Bills in Buffalo with the snow in the playoffs with that fan base. The Texans don't have a damn chance.
Bills haven't won anything.
Like they're playoff tested.
Well, yeah, but
they're constantly in the mix.
They're playoff losers.
They just right, and so is everyone else because the Chiefs win every single year.
I'm just saying,
right, but so are the Texans. So is every single team on this list. So that's not like a real point you can make as any team because Chiefs win everything.
Well, I'm just like Like the Texans in their first year in the playoffs, they won a game. I don't care how you qualify it. They've won a game.
They beat Joe Flacco and the Browns. Okay, they won a game, but yeah.
So that counts for something. You
Right,
can't
but there's context, man. Like, context to that win. And what happened next week when they played an actual playoff team?
So they get no, and then you don't give the Bucs credit for beating the Eagles last year. That's
Do we talk about what the Eagles were last year?
And you know what's crazy is that the
And
Eagles.
what happened the next week when the Bucs played an actual playoff team?
If the Eagles are in the playoffs, their kryptonite is the Bucs. So if you're saying if you play right now, Eagles Bucs healthy, I'm taking the Bucs. If the Bucs have the Eagles number, that's what I'm saying. Like the Bucs are better than people think. And the Texans, I like the Texans.
The Bucs are essentially the same team that they were last year. They're essentially the same team. The wide receivers are going off. Baker Mayfield's playing everyone expected. Tall Bowles they're calling the defense. Rashad White. It's the same team. And they went in the playoffs. They played a real Eagles team. They won. They went and played an actual playoff team, the Lions, and they got beat. Like, same with the Texans. Like, there's just a different level. You don't just walk into the NFL play, or I shouldn't say that. Few teams walk into the NFL playoffs with very little experience, and all of a sudden they're playing in, they're playing at Chiefs level.
You can say what you want about Baker Mayfield. Give Stroud a chance. He's had 1 year. He won.
He definitely had a chance. Yeah. I'm not going to crown him before he does it.
Well, he's just as good a chance as any other team in the AFC. They're a good team. It's not. You
guys have thoughts on it?
And this year, it's
agree
not.
Agree or disagree?
This year, you know why I like the Texans this year? Because Stroud didn't even play the best game Sunday, and they won. This is a football team now. Last year was the Stroud show. This year, it's the Houston Texans.
That's fine. I need to see in the playoffs. Because
okay, well, we've
seen the Ravens do this for years.
Okay.
Be first-round checkouts, and they had the MVP and the best record in the NFL last year.
Okay. Well, we'll see in the playoffs.
I'm just saying there's differences. Look at the Dolphins. I could go on and on about how teams play differently in the playoffs.
Texas are not the Dolphins.
Chiefs.
Texas are not
well, the question that got us here was, is the Vikings your Super Bowl pick? Like Vikings-Chiefs Super Bowl pick. And I agree with Joey. You look at this list, absolutely the Vikings are playing lights out. They should be a top 2 team on the top 10 list. I would never in a million years go right now and put $100 down on the Vikings coming out of the NFC.
You put your money in the Lions? Who wouldn't?
I don't know. That's a good team. They're both good teams.
Who would you put your money on?
In a playoff game right now?
No, not a playoff game.
To play in the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
I'm probably the Vikings.
Over the Lions?
They're playing great. Yeah.
All right. I mean, that's your choice. That's your choice. Lions or Vikings, guys?
Lions.
That sucks for Gabe. Neither of them on the yeah.
I'm taking the Vikings.
Vikings
I've seen that offense.
That's fine. If you want to believe in the team, I get it.
Vikings have like the best coordinators in the game. One's the head coach, obviously, and then
you want to talk about how you defeat a Lions, a Chiefs in the playoffs. Good coaching.
Tell you what,
we've said on the show.
We got a little split here.
No. That's a good fucking football game.
Great game.
Hey, no, this is a good bet.
Throw in the fact that it's a divisional game as well.
We have to see the Bills Texans in the playoffs and the Vikings Lions. And then this argument is solved.
Yep.
Then that's it. But you know what? Making this list though, there's a lot of good football teams this year. A lot of teams like the quarterbacks on this list are Sam Darnold, like a bunch of guys who were cast off.
Thanks for watching episode 168. We will see you on Friday for a recap of Thursday night and picks. God, going into week number 6. It's gonna be wild. See you then.
Peace.